Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. I've had a few videos up on this channel. A lot of them have been makeup related. I do really love makeup, but I don't want that to be, like, I think I was pigeonholing myself because it felt like I needed to do something on here, like do some sort of like trade or craft or whatever. Anyway, so I think what I'm gonna start doing is just talking about whatever the fuck I want, because that seems like what people are being, like, I feel like people are doing that now on YouTube, which is kind of cool. We're moving away from like heavily produced content. Like, it's still here and I fucking love watching it, but what I am super excited about, because I am so lazy, is being able to just like make videos about whatever I want. And quite frankly, I don't care if no one watches these. So let me just explain what I want to do here today. I am going to read some of my old dream journals. So I used to be very diligent about keeping a dream journal when I was in high school. Some of the dream journals go back to like 2012. I'm just gonna read some of these to you and like give you some background into like who's in the dream. I'll probably use pseudonyms because these are real people that exist. I doubt they're watching this, but in case they are, I want to respect their privacy. Even though these dreams like are totally fabricated, like this isn't indicative of these people at all. I believe I have it in a dream journal, .doc. Here we go. Yeah, the first one is from March 4th, 2012 to the morning of March 5th, 2012. Most recent one was, 2013. That's weird. I thought I started doing this again. Maybe it's in a different document. Oh, 2012, I was I in the 8th grade? No, I was a freshman in high school, freshman or sophomore in high school. Okay, so we're setting the scene. Wanted to go to Castles and Coasters with me. Castles and Coasters, I'll like put a picture here, is a very shitty theme park in Phoenix, Arizona. And it's just like, it's the place that you would go in high school is like, you wanna go to Castles and Coasters? Yeah, you got your paycheck from your job. Now you're gonna blow $60 fucking at Castles and Coasters. Okay, so they wanted to go to Castles and Coasters with me, but then they ditched me. So I was completely alone on this thing similar to a chairlift. So imagine like a ski lift, okay? And they had also planned to go to the movies later. So they ditched me and we had plans, I guess, to go to the movies later. There were these two men with me, and yet they weren't actually there. So it was very strange. Quite frankly, I feel like that's how everyone's dreams go, where it's like, it was my house, but it wasn't my house, but it felt like my house. I guess there was an essence of these two men, if you will. There was also a little boy in the lift in front of me. Then something happened. Another nice dream trope of just some happening. And we all fell out of the chairlift and I hit the pavement so hard. Trigger warning, I guess. Gonna be some blood, some danger, perhaps even death. And I hit the pavement so hard that my nose started bleeding buckets. And I could feel my own heat through my whole body. I lay there for hours and somehow the men and the boy disappeared. So we don't know what happened to them. We don't know if they died. We don't know if they were hospitalized. Who fucking knows? Maybe they didn't even fall in the first place. And I was completely alone. If I got up, it would feel like I was being stabbed in the head. So I didn't move. That feels wise. I tried sending a text, who was my boyfriend at the time, and he didn't care. And then called the girl from the beginning of the dream, but I didn't answer in time. So I called back and there was no answer and I never got up and the dream switched. Okay, so now we're switching to a different dream. So this is like, you know how dreams are like montages of different things, and like one dream actually doesn't last that long. It's like, I don't even know, 30 seconds. I made that up. Maybe I'll find the actual statistic or like whatever.
The length of the dream can vary. They may last for a few seconds or approximately 20 to 30.
Then there was a dream where I walked into someone's backyard and then I see this adorable little boy. I don't know what it is with this little boy, and I don't know if it's, and he was the boy from the ride. Jesus, I really like was super detailed in these, but he looked like the boy from Little Rascals. I'm pretty sure there are multiple little boys in the Little Rascals, so I don't know which one I was referring to here, but clearly I found it important to explain that it was the boy from the Little Rascals. Is that the one whose friend dies? Okay, so I see this boy, and then two men appeared. and started being mean to him, which of course I probably didn't like very much. And I asked what they remembered about what happened, and they said some stuff that I don't really remember. So there's that. Now we're in another part of the montage, if you will. And somehow I ended up in a movie theater. Who was my best friend at the time in high school, and I were going to see... This is about to out me for the type of kid I was, at least in the beginning half of high school. And I were going to see Hollywood Undead live. Yeah, you know, misogyny live. But the show suddenly sold out and we couldn't go. So we went and saw a different movie. So we were going to see a movie of Hollywood Undead live, which I don't know if that's a real movie that exists.
It's not.
Or if it was like the Hannah Montana movie live, but it's like Hollywood Undead. 2012, is that around the time when the Hannah Montana movie was out?
Editing that here, it was the 2008 Hannah Montana Best of Both Worlds movie about Best of Both Worlds concert in 2008, not 2012.
So we went and saw a different movie and bought tickets for another one, but then I got lost somehow and had way too much stuff and was running back and forth between these two theaters. I don't even know what that means, too much stuff. No one had invited me nor cared why I had a huge red mark on half of my face. So I told them the story of what happened. What the fuck was the story of what happened? I sure would like to know. Maybe it was from falling off of the roller coaster and then I woke up. So that's pretty benign. Parenthetical. There was a vague memory of Girl Scout cookies and then a separate bracketed parenthetical, Thin Mints. Although I don't know how it comes into play. Wow, how old was I when I wrote this? This is like pretty coherent and like cohesive and not terribly poorly written, actually. Like there is some narrative element to this. This is almost 10 years ago. Should I read another? Oh, this is a fucked up one. Let's read another if you have the time. This is the night of April 6th to April 7th of 2012, so about a month later. We were at Walmart shopping for baby clothes as well as groceries. I'm 14, I don't know what baby I'm shopping for. And there was this refrigerator that looked similar to mine, the refrigerator that I had at my parents' house. I opened the second drawer where the vegetables should be. According to my family, your family might put them in a different drawer or no drawer at all, who knows? And then I looked over and saw he was a bit of a character. But then a minute later, was gone. I was freaking out. And then was out of it. It was my high school boyfriend. And I told him that I saw. And then he said, where? And I told him, but he wasn't there anymore. Then I looked over to the corner of the store and we're still at Walmart, and saw a bench inside some room and was standing there talking to one of his friends, just teleporting at wherever the fuck he wants in this Walmart, okay? So then Abby and Sarah and Lexi told me that we had to make binkies.
Binkies?
For these little babies. I was too lazy to go and look for things to make it with. We're at a fucking Walmart. I could have just bought a bunch of binkies. I don't know who decided we need to DIY these binkies. So I just went and looked for one that I could just buy. Ah, great. Great job, Nat. Great job. Then I got sidetracked and ended up in the sunglasses department. You know how it goes. Then I somehow ended up in this weird asylum type place, similar to Walmart, that I always wanted to be built. I guess in the dream, I was cognizant of the knowledge that my dream self wanted an asylum to be built. That's very problematic. Dream me should be canceled. Okay, so I always wanted this asylum to be built in this empty lot by my elementary school. I won't use the name. So I'm there like taking a tour and there are these weird people with baby heads. And I can't tell if they're babies or if someone did surgery on their faces, okay? So I can't figure out if these are babies with adult bodies or if these are adults that had surgery on their faces to be made to look like babies. These are the only two options in Dreamworld, okay? Then Taylor comes up to me, another girl that I knew in high school, and I see that they did surgery on her too. I've just decided that it's a surgery. It's a surgery, they're not babies with human bodies. Obviously, I've sort of figured this out because Taylor is someone that I knew who, to my knowledge, was not a baby with a human body. So it must have been a surgery. So I'm touring the place and everything is really kind of gray. And I'm starting to get weirded out. Yeah, and this man comes up to me and asks me if I'm touring the area. whatever the fuck that means. Then something happens, and I can't quite remember what, but this girl ends up on a chain link fence asking someone to beat her. I feel like I will also do a content warning here. I think I remember this also having some violence, maybe blood. Yeah, it's asking someone to beat her. For some reason, I turn into a little boy. We're back to little boy. This might have to do with some sort of gender crisis that I have been having my entire life, basically. So I'm a little boy now, and I am told to beat her. So she's consenting to being beaten, but I have not consented to beating her. It doesn't seem like I'm interested in doing that. But I can't seem to be able to do it hard enough. Okay, so I have agreed or perhaps been coerced into hurting this girl. My arm won't let me. You know, normal dream stuff where it's like you're trying to like land a punch, but it feels like you're like moving through water. Or like when you're...
It's like when you're laughing really hard and then you're like trying to like pick something up and you like don't have the strength.
I guess that's what's going on here. I can't do it hard enough, so they let a different boy do it. Then I ask the man in charge why some of the people have baby heads and cannot speak. And he tells me it's because they had a deformation of their fingers. So we're adding another body part into this. We're talking about fingers. He tells me that they were made into that being humans with baby heads.
She realized moments later that humans with baby heads tend to just be babies.
Because the hair on their fingers stretched too far and was on the tips of them. This is kind of a disgusting thought for some reason for me, but if you had hair growing on your fingertips and it was like fuzz, I think I remember in the dream it was sort of like peach fuzz. You had like peach fuzz on your fingertips, which I feel like would be a really interesting tactile sensation. So I guess we're just persecuting people with this quote unquote deformation of their fingers, unpleasant though it may sound. He glances at my hand and tells me that my finger hair stretches too far. I look around at all of the people with baby heads and they are getting closer to me. I tell him that I shave my hands, so it shouldn't be a problem. In this, I have written lied, but he just keeps getting closer. Yeah, because no fucking shit. I realize that there's nothing that I can do anymore, so I turn around and sprint out the door because I don't want to end up like all of those people. Yeah, I don't blame me. I hear the man come after me, but I tell myself there's no way I'm going to turn around. That's very wise. I just think about how I need to get home to my mom. Literally me in any negative or unpleasant situation ever. So I need to get home to my mom. I sprint, and I know I'm not capable of running that fast for so long. Appreciate the self-awareness, but I just keep going. I just keep fucking going, man. It's a life or death situation. What are you gonna do? You fucking run. Then I realized that they might come after me with jeeps. Jeeps. So I go up to the side of the dirt road and I start running in a straight line there. So somehow I think that the dirt road is going to protect me because the jeeps, though they are, I think, intended to be off-road vehicles, can't get me in the dirt. I get home and the walls have all been torn down. There is a door still standing. And this is one of my favorite lines in a dream journal I've ever written. So the door is still, and as long as the door is still standing, then any governmentally funded project cannot enter. So now I've established that whatever is going on with this baby head fiasco is somehow governmentally funded. That sort of makes sense, I guess, because I don't know how else this would have been so well orchestrated if it weren't the government. And also, I love that, again, Dream Me is aware of this like policy or like this law that is serving me in this situation where my home has no walls but has a door. I run through the door, which is fucking hilarious. The house doesn't have walls, and see the man, the big man who was in charge earlier, who accused me of having hair on my fingertips, and his workers walking by the door. And I'm so scared because there are no walls, but luckily they walk by and I woke up. Dream's over. Last one, okay? There was some other dream that I also had, and it was like when I was at the same camp. So we're at the same weird, fucked up camp. But now they've lined us up in two separate lines of children. that stretched for miles. And they told us this could not be more topical given what has happened, not what's happened, but like, you'll see. They told us that we had to accurately portray scenes from Harry Potter.
He's going to sacrifice himself.
No, you can't! Not me! Not mine! You! Okay, so that's what they're asking us to do. First, they did a scene where all these voices had to intermingle in Harry's mind. You know, like when he was hearing fucking parcel tongue, and it was always like, okay, so we're doing that. And I got to do the shrieking. And Kaylee was with me. This is hilarious to me because clearly I was referring to Kaylee by first and last name because we were just getting to know each other at the time. Like when you don't know someone super well, you like feel like you need to call them out by first and last name. Kaylee is one of my best friends in the entire world. The friend I've had the longest. We talk every day, and I just think it's so comical that like this was written around the time when we were still getting to know each other, such that I felt the need to write down her first and last name in the dream. The director of the camp told us that we did a fantastic job, and we were all very proud. Then there was another scene, and for some reason it required us to roll around in the mud. I don't know why there was mud. We were in Arizona, and it was very hot outside, but I started enjoying myself, you know, like a pig. And Kaylee and I seemed to be having a good time. That's all I remember of that dream. If you are still here and you have managed to sit through this entire video, I thank you so very much for joining me. I'm excited to hopefully post more consistently, and maybe we'll read another dream journal. Maybe we'll talk about something else. Maybe at some point I'll come up with some sort of cheeky introduction or a song perhaps, because people are into songs as intros now. So we'll see. But thanks for hanging out with me. Again, my name is Natalie. You can subscribe and like this video or don't. In the words of Smokey Glow, I'm just glad that you are here. You can't follow me on other social channels. I like to keep things quite private. So just subscribe here. It's been great having you, and I will see you later. Bye.